So let's get started. So I got a basic disc here set up, but I'm gonna go with the sphere. So let's start with that. I'm gonna make sure I have the grid snaps set here. I'm going to go with a 1 foot radius, and I'm going to go to the side view here. I'm going to create some cuts. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the base here so it's exactly flat. So to do that would be just using the line tool here, going across, select the object, and then we're going to use this cut tool here. So we're going to select that, hit OK, and I'm going to select this and hit delete. So to get a nice radius for the base here, I'm going to create a much more rounded line here. So to do that, I'm going to select somewhere right here for right now. I'm going to select somewhere here, and then something like that. And I'm going to bring this down, but for now that's centered. So I'm going to do a mirror tool here. I'm going to select the opposite side, so hit OK. And one thing I want to do is go ahead and select both of these edges, and I'm going to hit the J key here so they're connected as one, right? And then I'm going to go here to the point here. It's not exactly smooth here, so we're going to hit the G key, and we're going to bring this down so it's nice little smooth roundness there. Hit OK. This is the very base of the robot arm, so let's go ahead and select this line, and we're going to bring it down to about something like that. Hit OK. Now we can select this main object, and we're going to cut this as well. So let's head and get the cutter. Select this, cut that. Perfect. Now let's go and delete this for now. And we have a nice smooth base. One thing I'm going to do is create a inner section here. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and again create another sphere. Same exact size. And one thing I'm going to do is hide this. So let's do this. We're going to go 1 exactly, like last time, like this. And then once I create this, I'm going to scale this down, hit OK. So hit the S key twice, take this off. So let's hit the scale key 2 times, bring this down to about there. And now we can unhide this, right? So one thing, I'm trying to make this as smooth as I can, but I want to scale this up just a little bit. So hit the S key again, twice. We'll bring this up to about there. And one thing I want to make sure is it has a very edge here, just so it's clean. So we're going to hit the line tool here. We're going to go about, let's say about right here. Bring it through, right click. And I'll select this object. Go ahead and select this object. And let's cut this. Hit OK. There we go. So now this piece can be deleted with the delete key. And this piece, we're going to use the Q key. This is going to be cutting into that, so it's actually nice and flat. Hit OK. Cool. Alright, so that's the base part of the object. And I'm going to create some more things on this, of course, but that's the start. Alright, so that's done. So we're going to create now a little bit of the base to make it nice. So we're going to go ahead and use the disc tool. So here, cylinder, go back to the Z top, and this time I'm going to create it a little bit bigger. Something about, I want to make sure I have enough space here for bolts and stuff. I do not want to cut that, so we can select that. Hit OK. And one thing we'll do here is we'll hit the face tool here, and just bring this down. And I'm going to actually go a little bit below this object, so it's nice and clean. Let's go to the side view here, hit OK. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this down with the G key. So let's bring this down I want this to look like it's part of the object or welded to the object, so that way it looks nice and clean. First of all, I'm sorry, I'm going to go with this one first, this one second. Hit the Q key, and I'm going to keep the tool, of course, and we'll hit OK. And then we can actually hide this here. And now we got a nice little edge here. Again, I will work on all the little small fillets later, but for now, we're going to go ahead and continue to build this out. So let's go ahead, bring this back in, see what we're doing. So I'm going to create a bolt pattern for the top of this. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to actually create a hole in each of these sections. Because it's easier to snap here, I'm just going to snap here, bring this out, something like that. We're going to hit the G key, move it in, kind of centered between the two spaces, give it some good definition. And then what I'll do is I'll use the face tool, bring this down, hit OK. And then we can get rid of the circle, delete it. Go ahead and select this object here. And we can go to the top view. All right, so let's go ahead and use the radio array. So I'm going to select this right here. We're going to select the center here. Now, I'm thinking I might go a little bit more than 8. I think we'll go with maybe 12. I think that would look better. So about right there. And we'll actually left click, then go ahead and select OK. Cool. Alright, so that's that. So now that we got this object selected here, let's go ahead, first of all, let's hide this one. And we got this main one selected, right? So we can go back in here, hit the shift key, and then use your left mouse button to select the rest of these. And then we can hit the Q key and hit OK. So that's the base of getting the detail moving. All right, so let's go back to this. So again, we're going to work the fillets later and chamfers. All right, it's starting to come together. So let's go ahead and keep moving on this thing. So this is the inner base, and this thing's going to be rotating basically 360 degrees around the inside of this base is what the objective is here. So we're going to go ahead and bring this back out, and we're going to continue to create the inner piece to work this out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and select the sphere over here on the right side. Select that. Let's go down to center here. Let's pull this out, and I'm going to actually select right there, but I'm going to hit the X on this so it doesn't cut it all the way through. I'm going to take this sphere and we're going to cut it more. Enter OK. Now let's go ahead and get the line tool, and we're going to cut some sections here. So select the line tool. Let's bring one line through here. Hit about the center all the way through. Go ahead and hit line again. Just going to bring this one through on top. Make sure it's straight. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the sphere with the object tool. We're going to cut it, the top piece here, and say OK. I'm going to select again the sphere. I'm going to select the line tool here again. Let's select the sphere. And we're going to delete that top piece. Okay, select the sphere, and we're going to cut the middle section here. Hit OK. And we'll go ahead and select that base and delete it. All right, let's go ahead and move this thing. Actually, hit the V key. This to be centered. Let's take this off. Something like that. Hit OK. Now we can actually take this section here, and we can hit the E key, and we can extrude this out. Something like that. Now I think we'll go to the side view here, and we're going to create the actual part of this to hold the actual rotating part of the arm. So let's go ahead and select and create a rectangle. We can go center here and bring this out. Something like that. And we could extrude. Cool. Now I'm going to select this, go back to this side view here. Let's go ahead and center this. So let's go ahead and hit G key, and we'll just line this up so it's centered. Something like that. I'm going to hit the S key. I'm going to scale this in just a little bit. There we go. E. Bring it out to about that edge. Hit OK. And to make sure that you get exactly the same on both sides, go to the side view here and select the object. And just go ahead and hit the mirror key here. This way it's exactly even. So basically what we're going to do is rough this in, block it out basically, is what our goal is here. So let's go ahead and get both of these and Q twice so they merge together, union. I'll do a little bit of manipulation here, so we're going to cut this section out. Something like this. Then we can select this piece here and just cut it. I'm trying to give it some character here. Okay, so we're going to actually bring these two sides back in a little bit more so it looks a little bit cleaner, and some width between the, basically the disc and the box to make it easier to connect. Okay, so now I'm going to create a disc at 2 feet basically. And I'm going to Shift D it and bring it over. Got the snaps on here, make it simpler. So let's go ahead and say OK. Now we're going to add in some lines here. This way we get exact measurement here so it actually fits properly. So we'll do the same thing here. Go to Z. Select this section here and this section. Right click. Cool. Now we can use the cutter tool. So let's go and select that. Cut these two pieces out. Now we got a nice smooth section here. So let's go and select face. And we're going to hit the extrude with the E key. And we're going to bring it down. Hit OK. So now we can use this to kind of cut it up a little bit to make it look nicer. Okay, so basically I'm rotating this 90 degrees exactly under it. I'm also going to rotate it on the blue here, on the Z, 90 degrees again. Make sure it's exactly 90. Cool. Well, this is right angle for the actual rotation. Try to select the model here and bring a disc out. I'm going to take the snaps off. And we're going to bring this out. So 2 of these. I'll select the object. Alright, so I'm going to actually add in some sections here to cut out this piece. So make sure it's lined up, and we'll bring this through. I'm going to actually duplicate this on the other side with the mirror. And then we're going to actually select the object, and we're going to cut this sections out, those 2 pieces there. We're keeping one section a little bit wider and bigger from the bottom side. Is the objective here. Alright, so now I'm going to select these 2 lines here. Actually, all these 4 lines. And we're going to bring this down just a smidgen. Hit OK. Now I'll select these 2 sections here. And we're going to bring this down. Hit OK. Okay, so we have some space there between the disc and the cutter, or the add-on. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and modify some things here. So now we're going to bring this disc through. Hit OK. And we're going to select the object there, and we're going to actually select this object, and we're going to actually cut it with the Q key. And basically we cut this out on the one side. We'll mirror this afterwards. Now we're going to actually mirror this to the other side. I'm just going to use the line tool. We're going to cut out another section within this piece, about there, across. Alright, so we'll cut this piece out first, and we'll do the second piece in the back. So go ahead and select that piece again and hit the cutter. Hit OK. Cool. We can delete this little piece here. Now we can merge these 2 with the Q key twice, hit OK. Alright, so now I'm just going to mirror this. And I'm going to use the V key to center, or F key to center it off of this line here and bring it down. Cool. Now we can select these sections here, and we can hit the Q key twice to merge them. Now we'll select these two lines here, and we'll bring these down a little bit more. Hit OK. Okay, so I gotta select these lower sections here and bring these up. Alright, basically I did a fillet there to make it nice and smooth. Same thing there. Select these two sections here. Do also a fillet. Let's bring this down. Hit OK. Now let's get these two sections here. Also do a fillet. Okay, we'll do this in the plus. So it's nice and smooth. Hit OK. Alright, let's do these bottom sections as well. So we'll bring this out with the fillet. Hit OK. And we'll select these other corners here. And we'll pull those out with a plus. So it's nice and rounded and smooth. Alright, so I'm doing a fillet on this section here. Hit OK. Okay, let's go ahead and delete these lines. Select them all, hit delete. Alright, so we'll go to the side view here. Basically add a few more cuts here into this piece. So we're actually just adding some other detail to this thing to make it stand out. Basically I'm going to use the mirror tool here with the F and select the center of that piece there and bring it down. So now I've got both these. And I'm not going to go all the way through, so I'm just going through part of it. So that's why I'm connecting these. I'm going to actually select these faces and bring them through a little bit. So let's go ahead and extrude these. I'm going to bring these through. Hit OK. I'm going to select both of these objects here and move them with the G key. With the green. Bring it out. Something like that. A little bit more. Okay. Hit OK. Now one thing I'm going to do is go ahead and delete this fillet because I shouldn't have put this here in the first place because I like to cut all this stuff out first before I start using the fillets. I shouldn't have done that in the first place. So let's go ahead and delete that. Now we're going to actually cut this into this with the Q key. Go ahead and enter OK. And now we have these sections here. And we're going to bring this up just a little bit to give it a little bit of different direction. Hit OK. So now I'm going to create a disk here, center off that thing, that point there. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to bring this through. So we're going to hit the extrude key here, bring it through. Select this, select that. And again, we'll hit the Q key. Hit OK. Okay, so now I'm going to mirror this object. So both sides have the same exact indentations. And I'm going to bring in a triangle. So I'm actually using the polygon tool and using the shift key and kind of rotating this to 3 points only. Alright, so now I got this created. I'm going to right click. And basically I'm going to select the face here and I'm going to extrude this in. So bring it through. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all those lines and delete them. I'm going to select the object itself. First I'm going to select these two objects here and go ahead and hit the Q key twice so I can unionize them together. Cool. So now we got this triangle. I didn't use the face tool. I guess I used the line here. So it's going to do a patch tool on both sides. Once I have that created, it's good. Now I can go back into the edge tool, select these 3 sections here, each of these edges. And we're going to pull this out and do a fillet. I'm going to make that a lot more rounded. Hit OK. Alright, so I got the object. Let's go and pull it out a little bit. Make sure you're pulling on the actual green, not the red. The right axis is what you need, the Y. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to extrude this a little bit. Hit the face tool and now we'll extrude it. It's right there, extrude. Cool. Now we could actually add some different variations to this triangle. Okay, let's go ahead and use the line tool. I'm going to cut some of the back section. So I'm going to cut through here from top down. So I'm going to select a point there, bring it in, then cut it through. Now I can actually select the point. Now let's do a fillet on this as well, so it's nice and rounded right there. Make sure it's on the plus. Alright, that looks good. So select the object. Now we're going to use the cutter tool. Select the line. Hit OK. Alright, now let's go and delete that section there. Alright, so now I'm going to select this edge here, and we're going to pull this out with the fillet so we get the inner smoothness. Alright, so select the object, and we're going to move it in with the G key. Use the Y. And bring it in so it actually is cutting into the object. Alright, so I use the Q key, delete that section. Alright, so I'm going to also select these lines here. I want this to be smoother in this little section here. So select those and these two over here and hit the B key. We'll do a fillet here. So it's nice and rounded. Cool. Hit OK. Alright, so now I'm going to create some cuts into this existing cut just to give it some variations. That would be kind of cool to have a different design here. So we'll go ahead and select the line here. And we're creating a section here. I'm trying to follow the line pretty much to give it some variations. So again, just using different controls here. So I'm trying to figure out a good place to put this. Something like that. Now we're going to use that main line here to help us figure out the location for each thing. Go ahead and select these two sections here with the line. That will create another section there. And now let's do another one. Bring it out. And we're going to go back to the line. And this line here. One more section here. And it's connected. Alright, so now we can go in there and select the points on these. So select the point tool and we'll select all these. Hit the B key and we'll pull this out in the plus. So it's nice and smooth. Hit OK. Alright, cool. So let's go and select these sections. All four of them. And one thing we can do is we can extrude it out now. Actually, we can select these here first like this. Use the G key to move it in. We'll bring it out a little bit to the edge of it. And we'll bring it in to cut through. So hit OK. Alright, so let's extrude these into it. Something like that. Again, you'll notice that I don't have the actual faces done on this properly, so we're going to redo this. Let's select each one of these. So we'll select each section here and we're going to join them. Hit the J key. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the patch tool. Select each one of these and hit the patch tool. Cool. I'm going to select each of these little edges here as well to give it a nice rounded inner cut. To fill these out on the plus. Hit OK. Alright. So we'll select the main object. And then we'll select these four sections here. And we'll hit the Q key and hit OK. Alright, so now let's select the face here. I'm going to hit Shift D. Create a copy of this. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a cut on this to make it nicer. Alright, so I'm going to hit extrude this face. One thing I'm going to do is cut some sections here, so let's use the line tool. I don't want this too close to that area there. Let's cut it right about there. Alright, right click. Now select the object. And we're going to use the cut. Enter OK. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to, but that's alright. Always extrude this line. Or try again. So when something's not working properly, the other option is just extrude the line. So let's select the line and extrude it. So just to give us a better look at this. We're going to move this a little bit. So we're going to bring this line up a little bit so it's not on the right edge, this point. And we could try this again. Move it out a little bit. And alright, so I'm going to create a copy of this. Move it over. Now let's just select these two sections here. And the two on the bottom. This will get it ourselves a face here. And then we'll merge these together. Hit the J key. Now let's select the face tool, and we're going to hit the E key. Bring that through. Alright, so we're just going to cut this object with this object. So select the object tool, and select this object and hit the Q key, and then we'll delete this section there. Alright, we're going to do some more smaller detail here. I'm going to select around this whole thing. The B key. We're going to bring this up a little bit. The plus. So it's rounded. Alright, so I mirrored this to the other side. This way it comes out right. And also mirror on that side as well. Alright, so hit the Q key twice. So they are merged as one object. I'm going to go in and create the same with the mirror tool. So to do this, we're going to hit the F key and select the center and bring it down. Straight down the center. Right click. Hit OK. So I went back to the edge mode so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Select these little sections here. Total for them. Alright, we're going to do a fillet. Let's pull this out. And plus. It's left OK. So a little bit of work here. Select those edges here. Same on the side. It's too sharp. So we're doing all four of these sections basically. Alright, now let's go ahead and pull this out on the plus. Hit OK. Actually, we're going to go and select these four first. That way we can get a nice smooth transition between the two, and it'll work better when we're trying to do the other section. So let's go and pull this out on the plus. Okay, so make sure to hit enter. Okay, so let's select these four hard edges as well. So select those four. Let's pull this out a little bit on the plus. Again, so it's nice and rounded. Hit OK. Alright, so let's select this intersection on both sides here. And we're going to pull this out on the plus, so it's nice and rounded. And make sure you hit enter. Alright, so first let's select these edges here and make those more rounded. So basically these 6 sections is what we're looking at. Alright, you're going to do a fillet and pull it on the plus. Okay, we're going to also do these first. This will help drive more smooth around these sections here. Hit OK. Okay, so now let's select 8 different sections here. Make sure you get the right ones. Just bring this up. Alright, let's get these last 2. Cool. Now let's go and pull this out. The B key on the plus. We want to make it too thick and not too thin. So about right there, it looks good. Alright, so select OK. Alright, so let's go and copy this section here. We're going to select the face tool and select it. And we can do both sides. Actually, all 4 of these. So we do Shift D. Select OK. Do the offset thicken. That way it kind of gives a nice edge. Alright, basically I just deleted the other side and scale it away for now. Mirror this basically, so let's go and mirror it. I'm going to hit the center section right there and bring it down. Hit OK. Then we got to get those other pieces brought in too. So I'll select this section and the one behind it. Actually, let's select that one for now. Let's bring this down. Hit OK. Alright, so I'm going to hit both sections here with the Q key. Make sure we have them both selected. And select Q twice. Now they're merged as one object for the main section there. Now I'm going to actually scale this down with the S key twice. Let's bring this down. Or move it over here, basically. Okay, we'll scale down just a little bit more. Now after looking at it a little closer. Bring it down a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to select the face of this section right here. Now that I got that placed right, I'm going to make a copy of this, so Shift D. And now I'm going to just go ahead and hide everything else here so I can see what I'm doing. So go ahead and select everything, hide it with the H key. Alright, now I got the actual object selected here. I'm going to extrude it with E key and bring it out. I'm going to actually move this in. Something like that. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and extrude the back section of this disc to the other side. So first say OK, and then now go ahead and pull this out. Similar to the other side. We can mirror this to make it exact afterwards. Hit OK. So a few things here. I'm going to select both of these and hit the Q key so I can actually merge them together as one object. Alright, so now I'm going to select these inner pieces on the base here. Just going to bring them in a little bit. So I'm going to hit the E key, bring both of them at the same time in. Something like that. Right now I'm going to select the bottom here and select this section here. And I'm going to hit the Q key twice, merge them together, basically union. Now we can select these edges. So select the line tool, select these four corners, and I'm going to smooth this out. So let's rotate this with the plus, something like that. A little nicer edge right there. Go ahead and OK. Now I can change this a little bit, bring this down a little bit with the chamfer. Hit OK. Alright, now I can select the inner line here. Kind of actually pull this out with a fillet so it looks like it's welded together. Enter OK. Alright, so let's go and select these corners here. Basically, those two. And we'll go all the way around this whole thing. So the whole thing's going to be selected. Let's pull this out on the plus with the fillet. So we get a nice smooth transition. Enter and enter. Now let's go ahead and do this little section here as well. Pull that out with a fillet. Hit OK. Alright, so now let's go ahead and work this connection here between the two parts. Let's do another fillet. Pull that out. Cool. Now we're going to get these two sections here and pull these out with a fillet. Alright, let's hit enter. Alright, we're going to do a fillet here, nice and smooth transition between the two sections there. Pull that all the way up. That makes it look more rounded and smooth. Hit OK. Alright, so let's hide some things, see what we're looking at. Alright, so what I need to do here now is add a square, so I'm going to use the one with the point on it, so I can actually get this lined up properly from the centers. Let's pull this out. I want to get it right to the edge of that section there so it kind of shows. Get closer sometimes. About right there. something like that. I'm going to just adjust this. So select the points. Let's go ahead and hit the G key, bring this down. Put it way too high. Put it right there. Hit OK. Now let's go select the points again. We're going to use the fillet here, so we can make it nice rounded. Perfect. Alright. So actually we got to select the bottom pieces here, bring it down farther with the G key. Let's bring this down so it passes the bottom of the disc. Alright, so now select this. Now use the cutter tool. I'm going to cut through this with this object here, so it's all the way through. So we're just selecting the object that is on top. Alright, so I'm going to select these two edges and do a fillet on these with the B key. Pull this out. It's about right there. Cool. So I'm actually just did a chamfer instead of a fillet on this part. Hit OK. Alright, so I got part of this cut out, but I need to fix this piece here. I need it actually farther up, not that low down. So to do this, I'm actually going to select the curve on the top section here. I'm going to use that to cut this through. So select the line. Select the line, and we're going to use the Shift D, so it's actually its own section. Now I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to use the cutter, and now use that there to cut through. Hit OK. Alright, so now we can select this section here and delete it. Hit the delete key. Now let's go ahead and okay, let's unhide, see what this looks like. Alright, so I'm going to select this section here with the line tool on both sides. Let's pull that out. Basically a chamfer. I'm going to select the lines again, both sections, and this side as well. Pull this out. This will be a fillet. Hit OK. Okay, let's go and select this section here. I'm going to delete it, the line tool. So now I got selected, hit the delete. Cool. I'm going to select the intersections right here. Alright, so I pulled that out with a fillet. Actually with the chamfer. I'm going to go the other way though. I'm going to go with the fillet. So we'll go on the plus. So we just selected those lines and now we're doing a fillet on the plus. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to bring it to the other side as well. So we're going to do a mirror on the opposite side. Okay. So I got both these sections selected. So I'm going to pull this one out with E key. So it goes past. Not too far out. Hit OK. Same with this, we copied and pasted. So with the E again, bring it out, and we're going to paste it in. Control V. Okay, hit OK. It's exactly the same. Alright, so now I'm going to select the line tool. We're going to bring this down, cut a piece of this out. I think I want it a little bit shorter. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Now go ahead and select it, the object itself, the object tool, and we'll go ahead and use the cutter, do both sides. Alright, let's hit enter. Okay, so now that I got both sides cut, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this one, scale with the S key twice, bring it up, and hit OK. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and mirror this side to the other side, opposite side, say OK. Alright, so we're going to select the intersection in here, plus the outer two sections, and we're going to merge them with the Q key twice. Becomes one object. Once you do that, go ahead and enter OK. Alright, so that's that. Now I'm going to select these two intersections here, and we're going to pull those out with the B key. I'm going to make that into a chamfer. Negative, basically. Hit OK. Alright, so we're going to start adding some more detail to this. So let's pull out a disk onto this section here. And we're going to basically move this out with the G key on the green. Hit OK. Then I'm going to take this edge here. And then this section here. And we're going to loft them. So hit the loft key. And we're going to put this at G0. So it's more of a chamfer. Okay. So we can delete those lines. Now let's go and select this edge here with an Alt key while we're selecting. And again, this could be G0. Go ahead and hit OK. Now I'm going to pull the other side out. So we're going to pull this out. Again, select the other side here and also do a patch. So select the line and then hit the Alt key and patch. Alright, so now we're going to bring this in with the G key. Select the green arrow, bring it in. Go ahead and hit OK. And we're going to bring this out just a little bit so it kind of lines up a little bit more closer to that edge. So let's hit the G key again. Bring this out, smidgen to the edge. Hit OK. Alright, so let's go ahead and select both objects here. So select the inner and the outer. And we're going to hit the Q key twice. So select Q and then Q and hit OK. Now let's go ahead and mirror this to the other side. So I have to redo all that. I'll select both sides, hit Q twice, hit OK. So select the line here, and this other side as well. And let's go ahead and pull this out with a fillet. Hit OK. Now let's go ahead and get a disc tool again, bring this out. And now we're going to hit the G key to move it out a little bit. And again, we're going to create another one of these, so Shift D. We're going to move this out, and I'm going to take this other one and scale it in. So select this one, hit the S key twice, bring this in a little bit. Now I'm going to select this. Actually, I'm going to hit the face tool and hit both, then do a loft. This way it takes both sides. Hit OK. Now go ahead and delete those lines. Now let's go ahead and do a fillet on this. Hit OK. Now I'm going to get this section here and move it in a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and hit the line here and do a fillet there. And on this edge here, I'm going to pull it out. Again, a fillet. Just give it some variations. Okay, now let's go ahead and hit the G key and move it in to the other section here. Hit OK. Now select the other object and that object and hit the Q key and hit OK. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to use the line tool, bring this straight up. Basically drop it there, and then we'll do a radio ray, and we'll go with the 12 on this. Hit OK. Alright, so now I'm going to select this object here. Alright, so let's hide some of this other stuff. So basically here I'm going to create a cutter to cut into this cylindrical part. So let's go ahead and right click. We could actually cut this intersection here with the cutter. Now let's just go ahead and do an actual circle. Just bring it up close to the edge there. Drop it. Now we can actually drop some of these other things. So let's go ahead and cut these, trim them, trim those. Actually, go ahead and select the face here, pull it through. Something like that. Hit OK. I'm just going to select these lines on the bottom and make them more rounded. So both sides. Let's pull this out in plus. Okay, let's go and pull this out in the plus. Hit OK. Just going to select this line. I'm going to pull this out again on the plus. Hit OK. Alright. Let's move this down a little bit with the G key. And now let's select the object. We're going to need a radio array again. Select the center there. And we're going to bring this down. Something like 4. Yeah, we'll go 3.